Hello, my name is Kayla and I am back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about season 24 episode 3 of The Bachelor, also known as the most unenjoyable episode to watch of The Bachelor, also known as one of the most annoying episodes I've ever seen in my life episodes of The Bachelor, and I'll get into that later. But let's get into this episode. So the first one-on-one date is with Peter and Victoria P, and it's them at the store, at a country store, picking up cowboy boots, cowboy hats, and like shoes and stuff to like go on this date. And then it cuts right back over to Kelsey and Hannah Ann, and this is literally what it said. "I'm not a champagne stealer. I'm not a bully. You don't know me. You don't know me. I'm not fake. I would never steal someone's champagne bottle." Literally, that is what happened. Then it comes back to the one-on-one date between Peter and Victoria P, and they're line dancing and they're having a good time, laughing, and then serious Peter is activated and he wants to know what makes her so sweet and so caring and giving. And then that's when we get her backstory, which is kind of, well, it's really sad. Her dad died when she was younger, leaving her with her mother and her little sister, or maybe her older sister. I just know it's a sister, leaving her with her sister and her mother. Her mother becomes addicted to drugs, leaving her to take care of her sister, and they went from home to home or something of the sort, and it was very sad, and that's what made her the caring person that she is today. Then after hearing her story, he gives her he gives her a rose, and then he says, "You are the most inspirational person I've ever met." I'm serious. No, I'm serious. And then he gives her the rose. That's pretty much that date. Then it goes to the group date, and it's called Demi's Ultimate Pillow Fight, and basically the girls are pillow fighting, and 2 girls at a time pillow fight, and then Demi decides who's the best pillow fighters are, and then of the 2 she picks the winner. And the first place winner was Alea, and the second place winner is Sydney. And I think with Sydney coming in second place, it makes her feel some type of way, and it makes her want to talk to Peter about the issues that she has with Alea. But when she talks to Peter, she says, "I think there's some girls in the house who aren't here for the right reasons, and blase blase, da da da." And then Peter's like, "Interesting. Okay." So then it goes to a group with all of the girls, and then Peter comes and he says, "You know, I had this talk with Sydney, and apparently some of you guys aren't here for the right reasons. Sydney, do you mind telling us who it is exactly, who you're talking about?" And Sydney's like, Alea, I think that." And so basically she says that Alea turns on, off and on, in front of the cameras and off, and then Alea's like, "Me? Does anyone else feel the same way?" And then the room is silent, and then Peter's like, "Well, I just had to get that off my chest. I want you guys to be here for the right reasons. I seen it firsthand, da 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 da." And then that happens. Alea then pulls Peter aside so that they can talk about it, clear the air. And then after that, Peter joins the whole group of girls, and he gives Sydney the group day rose because he feels that she's honest with him and he appreciates that. And so that ends the group date. The next part of the episode is the pool party. Chris Harrison comes in and he's like, "Well, today's gonna be a nice, fun, chill day. We're gonna have a pool party, and we're not gonna have cocktail hour, so make the most out of your time as you can. Have fun, enjoy yourself, woo!" Right? And then Peter comes in, shuts it down immediately. He walks in, "I'm not really feeling it, and I just want to, you know, talk to some people. I'm not feeling this pool party thing. We're just gonna talk, and I need to get to the bottom of some things." Yeah. And then he immediately pulls Sydney aside, and he wants to first apologize for putting her on the spot during the group date. And she's like, "No, it's totally fine, and you know, it's okay. I want you to do what's best for you, and you know, keep your eyes open and you'll be fine." Okay, keep your eyes open and you'll be fine. And he's like, thank you. Peter then starts pulling aside all of the girls, and one by one they're like, yes, Alea is different in front of everyone, and in front of the camera. Yes, Alea turns it on, turns it off. Yes, 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 yes. Everyone is telling him exactly what Sydney has been saying. And then Peter cuts and he's like talking to the camera. Oh man, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I really like her. Should I go with my heart or my head? My heart or my head? And that is where this episode gets really irritating to me. It's because it's like people come up to you one after the other saying like, there's a fire in that room. 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 And then you go to the door of the room and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go in the room and maybe the fire won't burn me, bro. Maybe the fire won't burn me. Like, that's what was going on in this episode. Like, it was so irritating. So then he keep on hearing the same thing, and so then he decides to pull Sydney aside again. Not Sydney. He decides to pull Alea aside again and talk to her to clear the air again. And he's like, well, you know, these girls are telling me that you're turning it off or on. Do you know like anything about that? And then she's like, I am so happy and I am so drawn to you. And then Peter goes, you know what? I believe you. I believe you. Yeah. Peter then pulls aside one of his favorite gals, Victoria F, and he asks her about the situation. And then Victoria reveals that Alea told her not to tell the producers that they once knew each other. And so then Peter's like, whoa, why would she do that? Like, whoa. So then he pulls Alea aside again to clear the air. And Alea, he asked her, he was like, so did you tell Victoria not to tell the producers? And then Alea's face was legit like this. Like, her eyes were moving back and forth like she was formulating a lie. You can clearly see her coming up with some type of lie in her head. She says that she told Victoria not to tell the producers that they once knew each other because she didn't want them both to get disqualified because they knew each other. And when I tell you, that makes zero sense, because in the previous season, you know, Hannah B and Caitlyn knew each other. So if they didn't get eliminated, why would you, hun bun? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And then he's like, okay. And then he gets up and leaves. Then she starts crying. And then that's how it goes. Then it goes into the rose ceremony. And I have to say this one thing. McKenna was mad annoying. She was so annoying. She was so dramatic. Like, every time he passed out a rose, she go, oh my god, oh my god, he's not gonna give me a rose, oh my god, oh my god. She was just doing like the whole thing, like the whole theatrics. That was what she was doing. She was doing so much for me, and I was like, girl, stand still. Like, what are you doing? She's just like stumping her feet and fixing her head and touching her face, and I'm like, not that serious. It's not. And then Chris Harrison comes. He takes the extra rose, and then the last rose goes to McKenna, and then ultimately Alea goes home. I'm glad Peter gave McKenna that rose to finally shut her up because she was doing too much. But yes, Alea went home after all of this back and forth mess. Peter finally decided to send her home. But then as soon as she got sent home, he goes to the producers and he's like, I think I made a bad decision. Like, my heart doesn't feel right with us. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I hope I made the right decision, but I feel like I didn't. I need her. I need her back. And so that's how the episode ends, with some previews for next episode. But who cares about the next episode? We will get there when we get there, you know? So that is it for this week. I hope you guys enjoy the summary of this most unenjoyable episode of The Bachelor, because it was irritating. It was just a lot of but yes, I'll see y'all next week.